It's Tuesday, it's Wegmans, and you're shopping with TJ and other musings. So before I get into the groceries of the day, and I'm going to give you again the artichoke recipe that I gave about 2 years ago, because I made it last week and it was fantastic, and going to do it again this week. But anyway, over the weekend had an opportunity to go to Harrison Meadows in Harrison, New York, which is a town-owned golf facility and pool and tennis, all around general golf club or country club. Saw a very, very good local band by the name of Digging for Sharks. So next time they play, I'm going to probably come out and check them out. And I'm going to let you know when it's going to be in case you want to go. I was really impressed by this band, 6 members, 2 lead singers, 1 male, 1 female, and the band had 3 guitar players and a drummer. Fantastic music from the 70s, the 80s, a lot of Rolling Stones, music of that genre, which basically is my time frame for music, and really enjoyed it. So I'm going to let you know about their next upcoming show, and maybe you'll be wanting to attend. Okay, here we go with the recipe of the day. Oh, and one more thing. We're hooked on these things again. These Wegman sweet potato tortillas. As I've said before, and I'll say again, you gotta have them. When I walk past the aisle where they're on the shelf, I grab them. Now, on to the artichoke recipe. I often ask people about artichoke, and usually you love artichoke or you really don't like artichoke. I think that if you have a good artichoke, a well-prepared artichoke, preferably a stuffed artichoke, you'll really like it. But it's a little bit of work. I admit it's a little bit of work to make and a little bit of work to eat, mainly because these petals here are basically on the inside. There is where the good stuff is. And I don't know what it's called. I guess it's called artichoke, right? But you have to like scrape them off with your teeth and eat them. So people find that to be a little bit too much work. But for me, it's all about the flavor and the taste, and I love them. When you buy artichoke, you want to squeeze them. You got to get that that crispy sound. And you know what? This one doesn't sound too well, but that's more along the lines of what we're looking for. So what you do with these here is you wash them thoroughly, and then you cut off the bottom, and that stem there, hold on to that stem. You want to put that in the pot. If you have something like a Crusade or a Staub, one of those heavy-duty type of pans or cooking utensils, I don't know what to call them exactly. What do you call them? Dutch oven. Okay, that's my producer over there telling me what it's called, the Dutch oven. But that's what these go into. So you cut the stem off. The bottom's got to be flat because it's got to sit into the Dutch oven. And then you want to cut off about the top third of it. Get that out of the way. Then you start to separate the petals. I don't know if you can see it that well, but you start to separate these things, because what I do is I stuff these. Now you can make it unstuffed, but I prefer it with the stuffing. So what goes into the stuffing? It's a matter of choice what you put in there. For me, I get some good grated cheese, I get some breadcrumbs, I put in a little garlic, I sprinkle in a little pepper. If you want salt, you could toss that in. I wouldn't do too much. And some garlic. Chop up the garlic, mix it all together. Get a bowl, mix it all together, and you got to pour in some high-quality olive oil. And what I do is with my fingers, I kind of make it into like a paste. You don't want it liquidy, and it can't be dry, otherwise it won't fit into where you're stuffing it. And you're basically pulling back each of the petals, and you're stuffing in the stuff with the stuff, right? The stuff in the stuffing. Right into where the petals are. And oh, one more thing, in the middle, down in the middle, you want to cut out the middle. So when you open it up, it's sort of like a prickly part, almost like a cactus. You want to cut that out as best you can. Now, when you do that, you have it prepared. You have your 2 beautiful artichoke, or more if you're making more, sitting in your Dutch oven. You then have to fill up the Dutch oven with some hot water. So I boil hot water in a separate pan just to give it a head start. Toss it in, bring it up to a boil, and then put the top on it. The top is very important in the Dutch oven because with the top, you're basically creating that drippingness of when it comes up, the steam comes up, it hits the bottom of the Dutch oven, and it kind of drips back in to your artichoke. And you have to cook it for about an hour and a half. So you're not going anywhere for an hour and a half. You're going to be home in front of your oven, checking every 10 or 15 minutes and looking at it. And about an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes later, it produces one of the most tasty, desirable treats that you're going to ever have. I would suggest that if you're an adult, you pour yourself a glass of red wine and you enjoy your artichoke and you sip your red wine and before you proceed on to your next course. This is more of an appetizer. So the next course would be, you know, something like a bowl of pasta. That would be excellent with the wine. Maybe chicken cutlet parm or veal parm or something like that. That is what I highly suggest that you do. Now, not that we're really pushing anything in the way of alcohol, but every now and then it's good to have some wine. And if you don't want to have the wine, maybe have yourself a cocktail. So here in the store today, I picked up this Wegman's, what they're calling European soda. European soda, and they're calling it frizzante, okay? So this is a mixture of cranberry and lime. And I'm gonna put this over ice, put a little Tito's vodka in there and stir it up and make myself a cocktail. This is something new I'm trying because generally I use cranberry juice and seltzer. So we're going to give that a shot. And I have so much more I could get into, but I like to keep these episodes short. So we're going to cut it off for today. You've been shopping with TJ and other musings.